Good afternoon. I'm Michael Bridges, President of Peerless Technologies Corporation. We are pleased to have with us today some of the senior leaders from Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Wright-Patterson is an economic engine for the Dayton region with an annual economic impact to the region of more than $5 billion. As Ohio's largest single-site employer, it is home to more than 29,000 employees who selflessly serve our country. Also located behind the fence is the Air Force Life Cycle Management Center. Last year, LCMC consolidated missions previously performed by the Aeronautical Systems Center and Air Force Security Assistance Center at Wright-Patterson and centers from Massachusetts and Florida. Approximately 26,000 LCMC airmen, civilian, and contractor employees perform LCMC missions across some 75 locations. Led by Lieutenant General C.D. Moore, the LCMC is charged with the life cycle management of Air Force weapon systems from their inception to retirement. And we're pleased that General Moore is here with us today to offer a few comments. General Moore is a distinguished graduate of the United States Air Force Academy, as well as the top graduate in engineering. A Guggenheim Fellow, he completed a Master of Science degree in Aeronautical Engineering at Columbia University before entering flight school in 1981. Among his many distinguished assignments, he served as a T-38 instructor pilot, an operational F-15 pilot, commander of the 1st F-22 Squadron, the Chief of Air Operations for Multinational Forces Iraq in 2004, and he is a command pilot with more than 3,000 flight hours in 30 types of aircraft. Prior to assuming his current position, General Moore was Vice Commander, Air Force Materiel Command. Please join me in welcoming General Moore to the stage.
Well, Mike, thank you for that kind introduction and for inviting me to be here today. I have to actually go off script here for a second. I've had the opportunity in the past to sit in this audience and watch my daughter perform on this stage. I can't wait to tell her that her old man was up here on the stage. But I got to tell you, I'm not going to sound as pretty as she does. She's an opera singer, so it really is a privilege to be here today to represent the men and women of the United States Air Force, as well as our sister services who also serve here in the local area. Thank you all for your tremendous support from all the local communities towards Wright-Patterson and our mission. I know I speak on behalf of General Wolfenbarger in expressing gratitude for this strong community-based partnership. In particular, we are extremely appreciative of the Dayton Development Coalition and all that you do to strengthen those ties, for invigorating the region's business climate, and for building a community that we are all proud to call home. Now, I recently read 2 articles about Dayton, and I thought they really shed some light on the people of this area and reflect on the efforts of the DDC. So I just had to touch on them. The first article dealt with growing the number of skilled immigrants being drawn to this area and the positive impact they are having on the local economy and culture. This is an exciting change that enriches the community and benefits all of us. The other story was even more interesting. It was out of Forbes. Forbes rated the workers in the Dayton region as the happiest in the country. Yeah, that was my reaction too. But when I thought about it longer, I have the opportunity, as Mike said, to work with a number of people from the local area, and I thought about their attitude and their contentment with what they do, so I wasn't too surprised by the result. Dayton does have such a rich heritage. With your efforts, this story is becoming more colorful, more exciting, and more promising. Yeah, if I could be so bold to say, I think the Wright brothers would be very proud. Now, for some truth in advertising, I'm on my 4th assignment now here at Wright-Patterson. So I can say from experience, this is a great place to live and a great place to work. And the effective work of the DDC and the other community leaders is making it even better. So before I get off stage, I wanted to touch on 2 points that I think are probably of interest and relevant to this base community relationship. First, the Air Force Materiel Command reorganization that Mike alluded to that happened last summer. and also the current DoD budget situation. That's kind of the elephant in the room. Now, as many of you know, we reorganized last summer by transitioning from a 12-center construct to a more streamlined and efficient 5-center organization. In doing so, we reduced manpower across the entire Air Force Materiel Command by over 4,000 people and over 16,000 across the Air Force. We are now 6 months into that transitional journey and continuing to mature our new organization. The results so far are encouraging as we find better, more efficient ways for conducting our business. Our new 5-center construct is intended to provide a more effective and efficient structure for accomplishing the Air Force Materiel Command mission. That mission statement is to equip the Air Force for world-dominant air power. One of the 5 new centers is headquartered here at Wright-Patterson, as you heard earlier, my organization, the Life Cycle Management Center. It did absorb the Aeronautical Systems Center, which many of you are probably familiar with, along with a number of other legacy organizations from across the country. The Life Cycle Management Center has the responsibility to acquire and support war-winning capabilities as we manage now all aircraft, engines, munitions, and cyber electronic systems for the entire Air Force. We do that with that team of 26,000 that Mike talked about, active duty, government, civilian, and support contractors located at Wright-Patterson, as well as at 76 other locations across the country and abroad. As a new organization, we have much broader responsibilities in the aeronautical enterprise as we focus on life cycle management. Our job is to ensure effective development, production, fielding, and the support for all those fielded systems. Now, with those broader responsibilities, there are more opportunities, I believe, for partnership as we work to improve how we do business across this new geographically dispersed enterprise, and how we look for more cost-effective ways and improved processes to expertly deliver warfighter support. Now, with that organizational backdrop, let me briefly touch on the fiscal environment and the implications for our Air Force and for Air Force Materiel Command. To quote my boss, General Wolfenbarger, fiscal realities may change, but our commitment, dedication, and devotion to expertly accomplish our mission will remain steadfast and true. So yes, we are facing a tremendous budgetary uncertainty in the Air Force and Department of Defense. This uncertainty necessitates that we plan for reductions long-term while taking actions today to reduce expenditures. We are doing that through a number of prudent measures. This includes actions such as curtailing non-mission essential flying and TDY's travel, stopping minor purchases, deferring facility sustainment projects, and probably most notably, implementing a temporary hiring freeze, which you've probably heard and read about. While we tighten our expenditure belts, we remain absolutely committed to the mission and laser focused on making this new organization as efficient and as effective as possible to meet the needs of the Department of Defense and our nation in this budget-constrained environment. We will be most successful in this challenging time by continuing to build a strong and vibrant partnership with the local community. The efforts of the Dayton Development Coalition are an essential part of that relationship. As we look to the future, we are confident that our relationship with the greater Dayton community will grow only stronger. Together, we will weather this period of budgetary uncertainty, and we will continue delivering the capabilities needed by our Air Force, and we will emerge stronger when the budget dust settles. Thank you again for allowing me to speak today. On a personal note, it is great to be back in Dayton. Thank you.